Couple of different options to go to behind Carlin Pickens, and Karen Weekly opting to give the freshman the ball in this game too, and really kind of a must-have win for Tennessee to even up the series after Arkansas took game one. So a lot of pressure on the freshmen.
They're 17-1 in their last 18 SEC series. The only loss to Arkansas 2 years ago. Here's the scouting report for Erin Newer.
Yeah, she has really good spin and velocity. Her go-to that she throws the most in terms of percentages is her drop ball, and she'll also mix in that rise ball at a high rate too. So likes to split the zone vertically, both up and down. Get a lot of pressure on this freshman to come into this series against a very good Arkansas hitting team and try to get the W today.
12:02 first pitch here in Knoxville. And Newer, a 2-1 count against Reagan Johnson. Ron White has the plate today with Robbie Guest at first and Smokey Eds over at third. Reagan Johnson, a couple of walks yesterday, including an RBI walk. 3 lefties to start for Courtney Deifel's Razorbacks, who got just their second win of the year against a top 25 RPI team yesterday. 2-2 is right around the corner, and strike 3 called. Erin Newer begins the game with a backwards K.
If I'm Erin Newer and I'm a freshman who has yet to pitch against a lineup in the SEC, or she pitched against Georgia last weekend, 2 weekends ago whenever they started SEC play, but I'm coming out and throwing my best stuff with a lot of confidence. As a freshman, there's not a lot of tape on you. They don't have a lot of looks on her to prepare the same way that Arkansas could prepare against Carlin Pickens, who has pitched 3 years in the league. So I'm Newer. I'm coming out super confident, throwing my best stuff to establish a zone.
And she's getting a low strike early. That's good news for her. 1-1 on Reagan Kramer. .560 on base percentage for the senior. 23 walks, only 4 strikeouts. In the dirt, 2-1 for Kramer. Arkansas lineup that came into the weekend as one of the top offenses in the country. 4th in runs per game into this weekend. Top 7 in on base and slugging. They're not a big base stealing team, but they are a pretty big home run hitting team, and they walk a lot. 4 walks yesterday, the home run from Courtney Day as well. That 3-1's a little bit down, and it's another walk for the on-base machine, Reagan Kramer.
3 innings pitched by the freshmen against ranked opponents this year, and that came in their series against Georgia whenever she came in relief. So not a lot of big pressure moments for her yet, and that's why this game is so big.
And Sophia Nugent, 11 pitches in, is going to try to settle her freshman down. Well, the stuff is not in question for Erin Newer. Karen Weekly called it filthy stuff, but she said it's just learning to pound the zone. And early on in the season, Karen Weekly said, look, I believe in that kid far more than she probably believes in herself. But there's a great line of Tennessee pitchers, specifically the last couple of years, and they think Erin Newer could be the next great Tennessee pitcher. It's a heck of an opportunity for her today. Carly Wyckoff is the number 3 hitter. Had a go-ahead single in the 5th inning yesterday. 13 games in a row on base. One on, one out for the Razorbacks. That's their first swing of the game on the 14th pitch, and it's fouled away by Wyckoff. And don't forget, the best hitter in the nation so far, Bree Ellis, is on deck. Held in check last night, did have an infield single and a run scored against Pickens, but insane numbers. Lofted into right by Wyckoff. That's Gabby Leach for the second out, and we'll get our first look at Bree Ellis today. Not your typical Brie Ellis day at the plate, though she made up for it later in the field.
Yeah, to me, it was the indecisiveness with 2-3 of her strikeouts coming on check swings, just not being real sure. That was the first one on a changeup, a check swing there, and then a check swing that really could have gone either way. But the third strikeout, she couldn't believe it. So for Brie Ellis wanting to get a little revenge against Tennessee today, and you're at bats and bounce back quickly. We just finished kind of late last night. Quick turnaround today. Not a lot of time to stir on it if you're her.
Chested by Nugent on ball one. 64 career homers for Brie Ellis. Those are the most among active Division I players. Last weekend against Oklahoma, the nation's #1 team had a ridiculous series. 5 for 10, couple of homers and a walk. And she's in a 1-2 hole here.
And more indecisiveness. Kind of a check swing where maybe she's guessing out of the hand, but just thinking about it, trying to breathe through it, trying to reset, get back on track with her confidence and a really good eye that she's had at the plate this year.
Newer misses down and in.
And when you look at her stats, 27 walks, just the 7 strikeouts, and 3 of them came last night.
It was her first 3 strikeout games since February the 23rd, 2024. That's over the head of her teammate Courtney Day, who's waiting on deck. The country's home run leader coming into the weekend, Brie Ellis, ready for a 2-2. And she slices it out of play.
Liking the way, Kevin, that Erin Newer is mixing her speeds. Bring it up to 70. I've seen 60. I've seen 52. So she's throwing 3 speeds early in this game. And I like to see that to try to throw off a very aggressive hitting, big swinging Arkansas lineup.
Another 2-2. Ellis is jammed and still muscles it up the middle. It doesn't need to be right in the hit-me zone for Brie Ellis to do damage.
She'll take it. A couple of 2-strike hits. The 2 hits that she has in these 2 games have both been with 2 strikes. She gets a little jam. That pitch is well located, a bit off the plate. It's just a little bit up about belt high. And when you're as strong as Brie Ellis, you can make something from that.
So the first Arkansas hit. Here's Courtney Day. Takes the first pitch after hitting a first pitch home run off of Carlin Pickens last night. The transfer who began her career at Texas, played 3 brilliant years there. Transferred to Ole Miss after the 2023 season, but Courtney ended up not playing. She was out of the game for a year, at least collegiately. She was a college prep math teacher and a coach at Tarkington High School in Cleveland, Texas. But she kind of got the bug back in part because she enjoyed coaching, enjoyed the mental part of it, strategic part of it. Led Tarkin into the playoffs. By the way, they hadn't had that good a year since 2006 and decided there was a little bit left in her game. So here she is, back at the big stage, back in college, now in the SEC at Arkansas. And she has had an All-American type of start, slugging .865 with 10 homers and 41 driven in. But she's going to strike out on a timer violation. She was not in the box by the time she needed to be with the pitch clock or the action clock. And Courtney Day strikes out. Courtney Deifel would like an explanation on it, but you got to be set.
Yeah, so at the 10-second mark, you have to be set and in the box, and she's clearly out of the box. 4, 3, 2. It's a strikeout.
Hey, Arkansas gets a late lead. You never know as the Razorbacks go for a series win. But with Robin Herron in the dugout, the freshman Peyton Burnham gets a start for Arkansas. Her first pitch is low to Kinsey Fiedler. What do you expect from Peyton Burnham today?
A lot of change in speeds. It's what worked well for her against Oklahoma whenever she faced them last weekend. And got to pitch over 8 innings against him and had really good moments against one of the best offenses in the country.
Fiedler, a little looper to short, and she's thrown out at first. That ball was deemed to have hit the dirt, and Natalia Rijo throws out Fiedler for the first out. Some tweaks to the Tennessee lineup today. Sophia Nugent moves up from 5 to 4 after a 2-hit game. Boo Gibson homered as well. Bella Fogg gets a start. Karen Weekly's team got good performances from Gibson and Nugent. The rest of the team just 1 hit. That was a Fiedler double in the first. Lady Vols were 4 for 28, 4 walks as a team, and struggled with runners on. Taylor Panel, certainly a bounce back candidate. She was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. And Panel swings through that good off-speed pitch.
That is such a good pitch. It looks to me almost like an off-speed drop ball, but when we talked to Courtney Deifel before the game, she said, no, it's just her changeup, but it has some major down movement to it. Just falls off the table. Back-to-back changeups, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to change speeds in any count. She actually throws 3 different speeds. So Newer and Burnham, 2 freshmen, throwing 3 different speeds, and try to keep these offenses off balance with those change of speeds, and then move the ball up with her rise ball. That's actually the pitch that she'll go to the most in terms of percentages, is that rise ball. Really good jump there, set up by her changeup. Good pitch sequence for Burnham.
I know how much you pitchers love slow, fast as a sequence. Boo Gibson with 2 out. That was a slow, fast thing of beauty.
Yeah.
To get rid of Panel.
Gorgeous.
Gibson, the home run hitter for Tennessee yesterday. Extended her on-base streak dating back to last year to 29. She's reached in all 19 this season. Lady Vols, not quite at the Arkansas level offensively, but still very strong. Top 15 offense into the weekend. A little bit better on the base paths. There's Karen Weekly, who is hoping to lead Tennessee to a 3rd straight SEC title, but a couple losses already. Going to be hard to do that. Texas and Oklahoma now in the league, and boy, Tennessee gets thrown right in the mix. They get to face both Texas and Oklahoma in regular season play this year.
I mean, the added depth that adding those 2 teams creates in this conference, just 2 teams really makes a difference.
Gibson is the first Tennessee base runner with 2 down here in the first. She draws a walk.
Can already tell that the key for Tennessee against Burnham is going to be not to chase that changeup. It's what Taylor Panel did and struck out, and it's what Boo Gibson learned when she was on deck watching Burnham pitch. Took that changeup that was low and out of the zone, worked to walk, but more pressure on Burnham to try to find the zone in this AB. Another good take there.
Best at-bats of the night, did you think, from Sophia Nugent in this lineup?
Yeah, definitely. The award for Arkansas for that is Carly Davidson on the other side.
Davidson was their 8-hitter. Nugent moved up from 5th to 4th today. She'd been batting 6th for a little while as well, but was hit by a pitch. Drove in a run with a 2-strike double, then had a 2-strike single in the 8th inning. Former Oklahoma Sooner, Sophia Nugent. This ball fisted to short and caught by Rijo. So 2 freshman starters with 2 scoreless innings in this SEC middle game. Quite a weekend in the SEC. The headline, not just in the SEC, but nationally, Missouri defeating #1 Oklahoma. The Tigers' first win over a #1 team in 10 years, and Oklahoma's first loss of the season. They were the last undefeated team LSU with a big win there, ranked 3rd. They already have the series win over Georgia. Jayla Lassiter, 4 hits and a slam, and a nice win for Alabama after a devastating loss down to Davis Diamond on Friday. Caitlin Riley got the win, hit the go-ahead home run as the Tide took down Texas A&M. Series finales, all those series today, and our series finale will be tomorrow. This is the wraparound series, 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night here on SEC Network. No score through an inning. Aaron Newer, the freshman, with ball 2 to Ella McDowell.
You know, I feel like, Kevin, LSU is a team that kind of has gotten overlooked this year, even though ranked 3rd in the country. But with Oklahoma and Texas and Florida getting a lot of the attention, it's hard to really spread it throughout the depth of the league, because you can say something good about each of these teams. Even Missouri, who in terms of record is down at the very bottom of the conference, they're the ones that gave Oklahoma their first loss. So many different teams to talk about. We'll see Missouri again on Wednesday playing Kansas on the U. And Oklahoma State and Georgia will be another good midweek game.
Kenny Gajewski's Cowgirls, who are World Series bound seemingly every year. A lot of great transfers, a little bit of a slower start, but not a team to count out these next couple of months. That's a foul ball from the freshman Ella McDowell. It's 3-2.
This league is just so deep. I mean, all you do is add Oklahoma and Texas, who played for the national championship last year, to the league to get that much more depth.
Look, we all know why conference realignments happened. They happened for football. I mean, that's been the case when this whole crazy merry-go-round we've been on for the last several years. Maybe no sport got stronger than softball. Men's and women's basketball, sure. Baseball, no doubt. But you said it, these are literally the 2 teams that played for the national title, Oklahoma and Texas. On the ground to 3rd from McDowell, and a nice play by Taylor Pannell to throw her out. Still going to take some time to get used to conference realignment in 2025. The Pac-12, at least for now, is no more. There's going to be a Pac something next year, but OU and Texas to the SEC. Pac teams scattering through the wind. Oregon, Washington, UCLA, they're all in the Big Ten. Obviously, that's a much deeper league when you add those traditional powerhouses. Arizona is in the Big 12. That ball shot right under the glove of Gibson. And Talurijo will reach on a 1-out hit. Stanford's in the ACC. Stanford's off to a very nice year as well without Nigel Kennedy, who transferred to Texas Tech. Cardinal are among the top 10 teams in the nation in RPI. They added SMU and Cal as well. It's still weird.
Yes.
It's going to be weird for a while.
And Stanford now has one of the best offenses in the country, which we had not said when they had the best pitcher in the country on their team for her freshman and sophomore years.
Pannell right up against the dugout, makes a play for Tennessee with just enough room.
The only way we knew that she caught it was hearing the crowd on the first base side give her a cheer, because she was hidden over there. I wanted to track that down. Had a lot of time, found the netting, stretched her body out behind her, and came away with that out. It's a big one.
Carly Davis, who had a wonderful game yesterday, is retired. And Aaron Newer, 70-mile-per-hour drop ball is low. First time seeing her pitch in person, she's got a really confident look.
Yeah, she does. She's long, spins the ball very well.
Down to 3rd, kicked by Pannell, and couldn't get it there in time. Kennedy Miller beats it out, and this Tennessee infield continues to struggle.
Yeah, we're early in the second game, and now second base, shortstop, and third base have all committed an error already in the series, and face a lineup like Arkansas, who doesn't strike out a lot, good to put the ball in play. You have to be able to make plays when they give you outs.
Well, all 3 of the 8th inning runs were unearned yesterday due to an error against Destiny Rodriguez. And that error opens the door for Reagan Johnson, the leadoff hitter. Johnson shows and takes strike 1. Struck out looking in the first. Her first swing of the game. It's off the glove of the third baseman panel. And Arkansas, for the second straight game, opens the scoring in the second.
Love this approach by Reagan Johnson because the infield is pulled in, expecting her to beat them in front of the infielders, but instead she barrels up one down the line. Taylor Panel is playing well up the line, and she just smokes it past her at third base, expecting something in front of her to use her speed, but that is exactly what Reagan Johnson needed to do with a runner in scoring position and to take advantage of that mistake by Tennessee to score a run.
The leadoff hitter Johnson with only her 5th RBI of the season. And saw Smokey Eds make a deflected motion. I'm not sure on the replay. That may have been hit so hard it got under Panel's glove. Either way, it's an Arkansas lead. And with a 2-0 count to Kramer, here comes Megan Rhodes-Smith.
Yeah, just the errors. I mean, really, when you think about it, it's 2 critical errors leading to runs in 2 of the last 3 innings that Tennessee has been out in the field.
And then this carries over from yesterday, where Tennessee tried to get down 2 sacrifices, failed on both bunt tries. And then this was the error in the 8th inning with 1 out against Rodriguez that helped open the floodgates. Then a couple of bases loaded walks followed that.
Yeah, just in all different parts of the game, right? We showed the miscues on offense, we showed it on defense, and then in the circle with a couple of walked-in runs. And when you're Tennessee and you look at yesterday's game, you struck out 16 times offensively. It's like, okay, you may have games that happens, but you have to be sharp in other parts of your game in order to try to score runs, to advance runners an extra 60 feet with bunts, and take care of things on defense when your pitcher gives you an out.
Well, Tennessee's now allowed 45 runs on the year, 16 of them unearned. That's 36% of the runs they've allowed are unearned. And another walk. Kramer has walked twice in the game, and they're loaded up for Carly Wyckoff.
And when I think of taking advantage of errors and free passes, I instantly think of Oklahoma and their dominance over the last 4 years of being so good at doing that against teams. And it's what Arkansas has done well in a couple of the last innings that they've played. They've made Tennessee pay for the free passes and errors.
Kaylee Wyckoff had a bases loaded hit yesterday. Wyckoff pops it up, and that will get to the netting. It's 0-2. One strike away from limiting the damage, Aaron Newer. And Wyckoff loops it over the head of Gibson. It will land harmlessly foul. And don't turn your eyes to the on-deck area, Aaron Newer. He's got a .660 on-base percentage. He got 16 home runs. The best numbers in the country waiting there. Bree Ellis. Wyckoff with a very tight take.
Dugout asking the catcher, Sophia Nugent, where was that one? Looked like a pitch location should have potentially been called for a strike.
And Wyckoff gets a piece. Nugent couldn't hang on to this one.
And look at all the pitches that Arkansas has already made the freshman throw. Not even through 2 innings. 54th pitch of the game coming.
26 in the first. Here's her 28th of the second with the bases full. Wyckoff out in front again. Looped into right. Arkansas leaves them loaded and strands Ellis on deck. But once again, it's a second inning run for the Razorbacks.
Not a ton of RBI production from the leadoff hitter Reagan Johnson, but she steps up with a runner in scoring position, power slaps it for the first run of this game.
Monday tomorrow night with the Lady Vol head coach Karen Weekly. Who's down to third right now, and her Tennessee team has made a whole lot of mistakes this weekend. They lost 6-3 yesterday. They trail 1-0 today. If only it could have been mic'd up Sunday. This was in between innings moments ago.
Mic'd up Sunday at noon during the day is a different feel than mic'd up at night, that's for sure, because she just had a talking to her team after they got that last out. And just trying to wake them up. I mean, you can tell with just her body language and pointing and looking at them and their response to her that she's trying to fire this team up. After losing the game last night, making some mistakes early in this game, let's try to get back on track.
An unearned run, their fourth unearned run allowed on the weekend. Karen Weekly, back-to-back Coach of the Year in the SEC. Her team has only lost one series in the SEC over the last 2 years and the first series of this year. That loss was in Fayetteville 2 years ago. And Arkansas is trying to turn the double. Peyton Burnham runs the count full against Destiny Rodriguez, a Tennessee designated player.
Burnham already adjusting with that changeup from the first game. Remember, Tennessee started to take that pitch just like that. So in the prior at bat, she had elevated that pitch a little bit to throw it for a strike, and you could just kind of tell that maybe they're just going to go ahead and start taking that changeup. And so she is going to elevate it a little bit instead of throwing it for a ball. She was throwing it for a strike, but couldn't locate it on that full count. But trying to make an adjustment, the freshman is, for these Tennessee hitters.
Here's Laura Mueller, moved down a couple of spots in the order to 6 today. First pitch swinging, and the third baseman McDowell cleans it up. Karen Weekly told us this week, I don't feel like you can develop your identity until you get beat around a little bit, and I don't know if we've had that yet. In that respect, this is what she wants to see. This is a good test. They lost yesterday. They came back a couple of times, but never took the lead. They're down early today. And you lose this game, you're staring down a potential series sweep at home tomorrow. So you want to find an identity. If Karen Weekly thinks you have to get beat around a little bit, this is the moment where Tennessee's going to show her who they are. Gabby Leach down the left field line. Oh! Off the hands.
He looked confident, though, going after it. You know, he was calling it. He was getting underneath it. He's the only one in the vicinity and just could not come away with it.
Yeah, and then he's very sad that the ball ended up in the net. He who shall remain nameless. Well, I'm sure if you're friends of that guy and you're watching at home, you're blowing up his phone right now.
There he is.
You know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I'm just thinking about what he's saying.
Left side, that ball's rocketed by Leach, but right to Kramer.
Really good swing on that changeup, though. Good approach by Leach with 2 strikes. Anticipating that changeup, taking a 2-strike, off-speed approach, driving it the other way. That's a good swing that Tennessee offense can rally around.
First at-bat of the series now for the sophomore Bella Faw. And Fall will go after the first pitch on the ground to McDowell. So 2 first pitch outs, and Burnham retires 3 in a row after the leadoff walk. Bree Ellis, Courtney Day coming up next for the Razorbacks.
Network.
Well, right after we went to break, Karen Weekly asked Bella Faw if the ball hit her in the foot. It turns out it did. It's a foul ball. So Tennessee challenged the play, won the challenge, and the bottom of the second inning will continue.
Yeah, you could tell that Karen's frustrated with the umpires that she had to use one of her challenges on this. Something that seemed kind of obvious to her. Felt like the umpires should have picked that up live, and they did not.
All right. That was useful. I mean, it was worth the challenge, obviously, but one pitch later, the inning is over for real this time. Coming up next, Bree Ellis, active home run leader, single season home run leader this year in D1. The nation's home run leader is right there for Arkansas, Bree Ellis. 16 Bree bombs in 28 games this year, and 64 of them in an illustrious career. Still her single season high, 20 as a freshman in 2022. On-base percentage went up the next couple of years. The power remained intact with 14 at Auburn, 14 at Arkansas, including a couple of home runs against her old team. 64 of them, the active career D1 home run leader, and Bree Ellis has gotten better in pretty much every way this year. Been hitting home runs, not just in Fayetteville, not just on the Plains. She has been a big home run hitter for a long, long time. Pretty much her whole softball life. And the senior from Houston, Texas, probably deserves a little more national recognition for the years she's having. She's getting it with every big swing.
Yeah, she asked her when she hit her first home run. She said she hit her first home run at, I think it was 9 or 10. Now I'm second guessing myself because I thought it was 10, but then maybe I thought it was 9. But 9 or 10, she hit her first home run, and her parents, her mom specifically, has been tracking them ever since. Has a spreadsheet that has tracked every home run since her first one back in 2012 with some notes and little anecdotes and years and just all kinds of different stats. That's a lot of home runs to track. But mom, Molly, who's watching from home, so hello Molly, is tracking them and just going to continue to do that for the rest of the year.
And we saw in the first one, 9 years old on the 10U team, so there you go. Every home run she's hit from age 9 all the way to now. And Molly's going to have to track a double here. A little blooper that fell in between 3 Tennessee defenders, and it will go as a leadoff hustle double.
Tennessee pitchers have actually handled Bree Ellis very well. All 3 of her hits, though, now have been with 2 strikes and ones that just show off her strength. So no home runs, but her 2-strike hitting to go along with it, and her hustle now for the double is what's putting her in scoring position. Her dad, Ron, with his cowboy hat he wears every game, loving that hustle from Bree to get herself to second base. There he is. Molly texted Molly back at home.
Think there's a double spreadsheet too?
Maybe.
Yeah, Ron is here. Molly watching back at home. Bree's 7th double, her 23rd extra base hit of the year. And from a Tennessee perspective, it's not an error, but it's another missed play defensively. As Leach, Mueller, and Gibson converged, and nobody could pull the ball in.
And I will say that cowboy hat he's been wearing since Bree was in middle school, it is duct taped together on the inside because he wears it to every game.
That is awesome. It's a good day for a cowboy hat, too.
Perfect day for a cowboy hat. There it is.
Courtney Deifel told us Bree Ellis has one of the biggest hearts of anyone I've ever known. And she has really clicked here with DJ Gasso, the second-year hitting coach. So has Courtney Day, who's in a full count with her Bash sister Ellis at second. Day rips one to left. That's caught by Samaya Morgan. And Aaron Newer's got the first out of the inning.
Can tell how difficult that Newer is to barrel up, and when her defense is making plays behind her and she's not getting herself into trouble with a walk here and there, she has really good stuff, and it's just the change in speeds that she constantly presents to these hitters, able to ramp it up all the way to 70. But hitting against her just like that, 59 miles an hour, almost like an off-speed rise ball, it's just difficult to time her up because she changes speeds almost every pitch.
Jams McDowell over to second. Thrown out by Mueller. Ellis takes third. Well, you can't spot a Tennessee pitcher. That's one thing that Karen Weekly said. Nobody ever says that's a Megan Smith pitcher or that's a Tennessee pitcher in terms of you have to do it a certain way. Ashley Rogers and Carlin Pickens and Peyton Gottschall and now Aaron Newer. They all got great stuff, but they're all different in their approaches, different in the way they spin it, the way they hit velocity. But the common denominator here, just great success in the circle. It's the team leading the nation in ERA.
And for the past 2 years, been one of the best and deepest pitching staffs, just not relying on one pitcher to do it all.
What makes, in your view, what makes Megan such a strong pitching coach?
I like the fact that she just doesn't come and try to make each of these pitchers cookie cutter. She really hones in to what their strengths are and makes those strengths even better. And I think, too, that they just do a good job of recruiting talent here, whether it's in the transfer portal or a freshman like Newer or a freshman like Carlin Pickens. They do a really good job of identifying talent before they even get here and make them even better once they are here.
She was a Tennessee standout, three-time Women's College World Series participant. UT softball 05 to 08. They're used to having All-American pitchers around these parts. 2-1, drilled into left. Italia Rijo will knock that one to the fence and jog on into second with Arkansas's second double of the inning. Ellis's was a blooper. Rijo's was a laser. It's 2-0 Razorbacks.
Just like the at-bats that Arkansas has put together since inning number 1 of game 1. And Rijo from the 7 spot, couple of hits, a 2-out RBI here from that 7 spot. Bri Ellis with her hustle had gotten herself to second base. Then with the execution, got herself to third base. And Arkansas finding another way to score runs.
And a drive to left by Carly Davison. That ball's over the fence. Davison on the first pitch with a 2-run home run continues a sensational weekend. It is 4-0 Arkansas. Just jumping on Aaron Newer early on Rocky Top. Carly Davison, who had 11 home runs a couple of years ago at Utah, with her first as a Razorback.
Arkansas is just playing with a ton of competitiveness these first couple of games.
And they have knocked out the freshman Aaron Newer with a 2-out rally. Sage Marjetko will take over after this swing from Davison.
Carly Davidson has had tremendous at-bats all the way from the bottom of the lineup in the 8-hole. Love the celebration in the background. Her teammates and coaching staff getting pumped for that swing right there.
Pitching change for Tennessee. It's all Arkansas on this Sunday afternoon. Sage Marjetko takes over with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Arkansas with 3 runs on the last 2 pitches. Double from Italia Rijo scored Bri Ellis, and a 2-run homer from Carly Davison follows. So Aaron Newer's day is done, and Marjetko takes over.
Marjetko has a lot of different tools that she'll bring in, a lot of different really successful pitches that she works with. That curveball right there had some major bend to it away from the right-handed hitter. Marjetko, that transfer from South Carolina, who had a lot of success there, gave a lot of teams fits, including that curveball gave Tennessee fits. Karen Weekly in their offense faced Marjetko. A big reason why she wanted Sage Marjetko is because she kind of got a first-hand look facing her in years past.
1-1 for Kennedy Miller. Carly Davison's first home run since May 11th with Utah against UCLA. It's been so long since Carly Davison homered. It was in something called the Pac-12 tournament.
That we only had for a couple of years, and we really liked it, and then it went away.
I know.
The Pac-12 went away.
Missed the Conference of Champions. Marjeko strikes out Miller, but the damage is done.
Loving all these different contributors offensively for Arkansas, including the best at bats maybe that Carly Davidson has put together in an Arkansas uniform.
Weekly, in between the top and bottom of the second inning, lead a meeting outside the dugout. This was a players-only meeting. Katie Taylor had a lot to say for Tennessee. We saw Taylor panel Ella Dodge, among other players, speaking up, Amanda, in between innings.
Yeah, what stuck out to me is that we're going to see Katie Taylor speak a lot here, but this meeting went on for a little while. You see over the right, different players step in, then Taylor panel, and then Ella Dodge. So a lot of different voices trying to lead here, down by 4.
Tennessee does have the team to come back from 4 down, but it has been a weekend of miscues and misplays. All the Arkansas runs today have come with 2 outs. A couple of key defensive mistakes, 1 in each of those innings, second and third. That's a good way to start it, as Samaya Morgan out of the 9 spot slaps one to left. And a little bolt of lightning sent into the Lady Vol dugout.
Morgan, a slapper with a ton of speed, just gets a pitch more up in the zone, shoots it the other way. It's an example of an answer right there. The 9-hole, the freshman, hearing some of those veterans talk and responding.
So top of the order against the freshman Peyton Burnham. Kinsey Fiedler takes a strike. It's got to be a different level of leadership for Tennessee, obviously. Kiki Malloy meant so much to this team the last couple of years. Veteran pitchers, Ashley Rogers, Peyton Gottschall, they've lost a lot. Still trying to figure out who are their leaders, what is their identity. They're being pushed right now. Left center field, and a great diving catch made. Reagan Johnson robs her counterpart Fiedler of a hit.
Usually that's a hit, but Reagan Johnson already started more toward left center field, so she had a little bit of a head start because of the defensive shift, something that Arkansas does a lot, almost like a drop ball out to center field, but Reagan Johnson absolutely on it. Matt Michael, one of their assistant coaches, runs their defense, and they do a lot of defensive shifts.
There goes Morgan, and she takes second, running on the first pitch. Samaya Morgan with her 18th stolen base, a team high. Karen Weekly, what do we have here? She's talking to Smokey Eds about maybe did Davison impede Morgan on the way to the bag? Could we have a question about obstruction here? Tennessee's already used 1 challenge, and they won't be using another.
Now remember, Taylor Panel, who is up to bat now, was one of those players who was speaking up in the meeting, and actually I think the only player who was actually playing in this game right now who spoke up in that meeting. So interested to see what she does with this AB.
She pops it up to right and flies out to Wyckoff. Panel's now 0 for 5 after a leadoff walk to lead off her series anyway yesterday in the first inning. Boo Gibson batting against the freshman Burnham. First pitch ripped foul. Certainly on the whole, these are better swings, but it's not going to feel great if Tennessee doesn't get anything out of them.
about the response. At any point in the season, you want to see your team respond to a team meeting that you say as a head coach, a team meeting that they put together, respond to the other team putting runs on the board. It's all about the response and trying to create some momentum.
And the momentum stays in the Razorback dugout. Should be a pretty happy Courtney Deifel joining us next from field level. Her Razorbacks have all 4. Welcome back to SEC Softball presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Arkansas with a 4-0 lead on Tennessee, looking for a series win in Knoxville. We're joined by the Razorbacks head coach Courtney Deifel. Another strong day at the plate, Courtney. Much different pitcher you're facing in Newer, but why have you liked your approach?
Well, they're just really committing to the plan right now. They're seeing it really well. They're, having a lot of discipline, and then they're ready when it shows up. So it's pretty good execution of the plan.
Coach, you're calling pitches for Burnham. What is she doing well so far?
She's really throwing all her pitches with good command. She had a little bit of a lull there. Sometimes that happens. You've got to kick her in the butt. But she's a competitor. She wants the ball. She wants to go right at them, and that's what we're seeing from her.
Courtney, we always appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Lupig.
Peyton Burnham with 3 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, couple of walks, 1 strikeout. All around, man, it's been a really well-played, clean game for Arkansas.
It really has been. And number 2, we talked a lot about their offense, but they have, in terms of fielding percentage, the best defense in the country, too. So really well-rounded team that we're seeing from Arkansas throughout their lineup, in the circle, out on defense, doing a lot of things right.
And they knocked Aaron Newer out of the game in the 3rd. Sage Marjeko with a ball to strike to Reagan Johnson. Marjeko with a 1.70 ERA, 1.32 average against. That's the best on the staff among the 3 main pitchers. Command can get a little bit away from her at times, but still very, very strong numbers in her first year transferring over from South Carolina. Johnson slaps one back to the circle.
Well, they've really relied on Carlin Pickens against ranked opponents coming into this series. Carlin Pickens had thrown 40 innings against ranked opponents, and then Marjeko had the second most with 12, and Aaron Newer, who started this game, the freshman, just 3 innings, only pitch against 1 ranked opponent in Georgia.
Carlin Pickens went the distance yesterday, struck out 10, only 3 earned runs, but 6 total, and did walk 4. Certainly we should see Carlin Pickens tomorrow night, barring something truly unexpected. Question is, will it be to try to stave off a sweep? Tennessee has won 10 consecutive SEC series. We mentioned this before. They're 17-1 in their last 18 league series. And the only loss in that span was to Arkansas in 2023. Now, these are much different teams. Hannah Kamenzen started both Arkansas wins. She's since transferred to Nebraska. Three and 2 for Kramer. Fouled away. And that guy made the catch on the fly.
Gets a voucher for the foul ball he caught.
What do you get on that voucher?
Maybe a little drink, maybe a little concession stand food.
That'd be great. He gave it up to a young fan. Hopefully we'll also get a voucher.
Now, right fielder number 44.
Hey, more Pro Day coverage for you this week. We're getting closer and closer to the NFL Draft. 3 hours of coverage each day, starting with Texas Tuesday at 2 Eastern, LSU Wednesday at 11:30, and then Ole Miss Friday at noon, right here on the SEC Network. NFL Draft 2025 is 1 month away from tomorrow. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Lambeau Field, title town. Two-0 here for Kaylee Wyckoff. And it's been a busy day for Megan Rhodes-Smith.
Yeah, pitchers falling behind a bit in this game, and she's pretty quick to go out there after they get an out or there's some traction going on after the walk to falling behind the next hitter to go out and have a conversation with her pitcher. Mind them to throw strikes. Trust their stuff.
Really good day at the plate for the Razorbacks. 6 hits already, 3 walks, 3 for 7 in scoring position. We've had 5 different batters reach safely so far, including Kramer, who's walked 3 times. Wyckoff, a team high 13 straight games on base coming into today. She'll take strike 2. Been the regular right fielder. Started at right field, at left field, first base, catcher at Texas Tech. So she can give them a little extra versatility when Arkansas needs. Like to get Kennedy Miller a few days off here. They thought maybe she wore down a little bit at the end of last year, their catcher. I know everybody gets transfers now, and we talk about the portal all the time. Arkansas has probably been one of the more successful teams the last few years at adding transfers. KB Sides from Alabama a couple of years ago, SEC Player of the Year. Wyckoff, one of those transfers, will go down swinging before another one of those transfers. Bree Ellis comes up.
First baseman number 77, Bree Ellis.
Saw her athleticism defensively out on the field last night with a diving play on a pop-up bunt.
And Ellis pops this one up to first. So 2 for 3 game for Ellis. Lady Vols need some runs. We'll hear from their head coach, Karen Weekly, coming up. Back to beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. Arkansas with a 4-0 lead. We're joined by Lady Vols head coach Karen Weekly. Karen, we've seen a couple of player-led meetings in between innings. We saw you talk to the team earlier in the game. What message are you trying to get across to your team?
Got to get tough. Got to build some toughness here. And, you know, as a coach, you can point that out, but you can't do it for them. They've got to come together and figure out how to be tougher individually and how to get tough as a team.
And then looking at your ABs, what do you feel like you guys could do better against Burnham?
Well, you saw better swings out last inning. You know, even the foul balls, just more conviction. Still, you know, not happy with our lack of conviction. You got a plan, you get in there. If you're looking middle in, you better not be getting jammed up, you know. So I'd just like to see us really committed to knowing what we want to hit and getting in there and getting after it. I don't care about the results. I just want a commitment to a plan and a real conviction when you go.
Karen, thank you for the time as always.
Thank you.
Karen Weekly wants conviction. That's a pretty consistent message with what she's been saying.
Well, and you can feel the conviction in how she is presenting even that information, wanting to feel that from her team and rub off on them. And, I mean, no better player to start off with some conviction this inning to lead off with Sophia Nugent, who has been swinging the bat very well this week.
See if the Tennessee offensive train is ready to leave the station here in the 4th. Nugent Takes ball one against the freshman Burnham. 26-5 team. Best pitching staff in the country, though they've been banged up. 17 run rule wins. But they have not had the lead in this series. Now entering its 12th, bottom of its 12th inning.
And those wins versus top 25 opponents are important later on Selection Sunday when national seedings come out. You're comparing who has how many wins against top 25 teams, top 50 teams, top 100 wins, and you just want to look at that number and know that you can go up and have a winning record against the better competition that you're playing against. And that's why this weekend was so important for both teams, for Arkansas and for Tennessee. Seeing the 3-3 record coming into the weekend for Tennessee, and then for Arkansas, 1-6 or 1-5 against top 25 teams.
Seven of the top 10 right now are the SEC. Tennessee's ranked 7th overall, and that's 6th in this league, which is just a behemoth upon a behemoth. On the ground, Rijo. Nugent is retired. Peyton Burnham still twirling a one-hitter with a couple of walks here through 3 and a third.
I mean, if you think about it, if you're the SEC champs this year with the depth of this league, this is not a cliche, no pun intended, but it really does just mean more this year.
Oh.
I really
How is
didn't
that
say
not
that
a cliche, pun intended?
to be funny or to go with the SEC saying, but with Oklahoma and Texas adding, just the bottom of the league getting deeper with how South Carolina is playing, how Ole Miss is playing, Mississippi State. I mean, these are teams that have been picked to finish at the very bottom of the conference, who were in the top 10, top 15, top 20 in the rankings.
How about it just means more? It just means even more. Super more.
Is more also an adjective?
I mean, you're going to have an SEC team in every regional besides one, probably. Assuming all 15 SEC teams make the NCAA tournament, there's a good chance of that, unless somebody just has a totally disastrous league play. But if you win 6 conference games, those are all going to be really good wins and good non-conference performances. Even Missouri, which we thought could be the worst team in the league, arguably, they beat Oklahoma yesterday. So there are no easy games. Popped up again by Rodriguez. If Karen Weekly wanted conviction, I'm not sure she's seen much of it in these first 2 at-bats.
A lot to do with it is how Peyton Burnham is commanding all of her pitches, like Coach Deifel alluded to whenever we talked to her in the mid-game interview. Doing a great job of spinning the ball up, changing speeds.
Up high to Laura Mueller. And Burnham has thrown ball 1 more than she's thrown strike 1 today, too. But she's fallen behind on the first pitch and then rebounded. It's the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oregon. All the way from Eugene, Oregon to Fayetteville. Courtney Deifel liked the way she threw against Oklahoma last weekend, except for the walks. Which she said, I had to hear from everyone. I had to hear from my mom about the free passes. I said, Mom, you try to throw to them. They're Oklahoma. Sheldon High School in Eugene, back-to-back state champion there. Burnham strikes out Mueller, got her to chase. A 1-2-3 4th inning. Arkansas in control. All 4 runs for Arkansas in this game, too. First of them scored on a Reagan Johnson slapped single in the 2nd inning. 3 extra base hits in the 3rd. Italia Rios double play to Bree Ellis, and the very next pitch just cleared the left field wall. Carly Davison with her first Arkansas home run. Well, the Razorbacks looking to clinch a series win on this Sunday, and they'll face Tennessee's third pitcher of the day, Peyton Tanner, making just her 5th appearance of the year.
Yeah, another freshman with opportunity to come in here and make a statement. Karen Weekly told us before the game she's looking for these pitchers outside of Carlin Pickens to come in and act like the ace. You want to see it with the body language, with the way that you attack the first pitch strike, with the way that you are showing up for every pitch to attack these hitters. And if I'm Peyton Tanner right now, I'm going out feeling like I have absolutely nothing to lose. I want to go out, have a ton of confidence, act like it with every step, act like it with every pitch that I take in, visualize it before the pitch. I just see it as a huge opportunity every time a new pitcher steps in.
Robbie Guest shook his head no on the swing, so it's ball 2. Ella Dodge has come into the game to play second for Laura Mueller. Miller struck out swinging to end the bottom of the 4th, and she's promptly removed. That pitch grazed Courtney Day, so the Razorbacks have a leadoff base runner for a 2nd straight inning. And they're going to bring in a pinch runner for Day.
You look at Arkansas's offensive stats on the day. 4 for 13 with runners on base, 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 4 for 9 with 2 outs.
They've been very good situationally. Extra base Thunder as well. Ramsey Walker, the pinch runner, in for Day.
Now bat Ella McDowell.
When you get to know these coaches and when you listen closely, sometimes you can tell what they're really feeling even when they don't say it specifically. Courtney Deifel's been specific, though, how much she likes this team, how coachable she thinks they are, how much she enjoys this group. They got 8 freshmen, and she said they've made everything a little bit lighter. And sometimes you just get that right mix. It's harder to do, coaches will tell you, with the portal and not knowing kids necessarily. But you think about some of the kids they added. Courtney Day, her roommate Carly Ratliff from Texas is on the team. Carly Davison, her hitting coach at Utah, was DJ Gasso. He's now here, so there's a little more knowledge there. And they feel like they got the character of the freshman right. McDowell at the plate is one of them. And it will be easy for Arkansas to just be spinning its wheels at 1-5 in the league, having just been swept by Oklahoma. But I mean, not just the way they've looked, man, the way they've sounded. Their dugout's been hopping. They've had energy this whole weekend.
Yeah, I watched them closely, of course, last weekend because I had their series against Oklahoma, and then because of that, I watched them closely the weekend before against Ole Miss. And this, to me, looks like a completely different team here in Knoxville.
2-2 freezes McDowell, a strikeout for Peyton Tanner.
Goes with a curveball. It freezes Tanner, but I like, freezes McDowell, but I like the way that Tanner is throwing with good velocity. And you see that little bit of emotion, too, after that strikeout, trying to pump up her team.
Natalia Rijo is 2 for 2, 3 for her last 3 after an 0 for 3 start to the series. Really nice to see Rijo healthy again. Last year she only played 9 games due to a shoulder injury and was a starter 2 years ago, had to redshirt. Her first career week 2 years ago, she was an SEC Freshman of the Week, went 7 for 11, 4 walks and a home run to start her college career. But she's having a terrific year, batting .339. OPS is up over 1,070 coming into the game. And a good shortstop.
worry so much about Bree Ellis and Courtney Day hitting the 4 and 5 spots that forget about really the depth that Arkansas has all throughout their lineup.
Nugent dropped it in foul territory. Just couldn't locate the ball in the sky and dropped it when it was too late.
This is not an easy play at all for a catcher, but you see how far back Taylor Pannell was playing. She was playing back well beyond the third base bag, and if she's playing up closer to the bag in different defensive positioning, oftentimes you'll see a third baseman come and take priority in a situation like that because that ball is so tough to catch by the catcher.
No error, just a foul ball. But Rio does get another life, just another little defensive thing for Tennessee. This ball skied down the line and right by Rio, but it will get out of play.
It just kept going, huh?
Courtney Deifel told us there was a wind tunnel out to right yesterday, and I think the wind has recently picked up in that direction again. See the flagpoles in center field. 8 pitches high, so a dropped pop-up in foul ground, and then a walk to put 2 on. Big baseball series begins Thursday night at the Box in Baton Rouge. Number 2 LSU hosts Mississippi State. A couple of recent national champions go head-to-head. It begins right here on SEC Network Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 local. Carly Davison smacked a home run her last time. I think this is the 4th time Megan Rhodes-Smith has gone out to the circle in 5 innings.
Again, when her pitchers are giving up a free pass and then falling behind on the next hitter, I think those are the times that we've seen her walk out there. But 2 free passes in this inning and quickly just kind of counting them up since the first between walks, hit by pitch, and errors. Been 6 free passes given up by Tennessee's defense, just making the pitchers throw more, giving Arkansas more looks. Got Charlie Orsini warming up in the bullpen, one of those players that was speaking up in the player-led meeting a couple of innings ago. Even think about the dropped fly ball to Sophia Nugent that had an out written all over it. So there's just been opportunities for Tennessee to make plays and get outs and just giving Arkansas more life every inning.
Courtney Deifel was raving to us about Carly Davison before the game. Loved her at-bats, loves her character, the connection she has with DJ Gasso. And she had come into the series 0 for her last 11. She's now 3 for 5, and double a home run, 3 RBIs in the series. Way to back on this one. It's a pop-up for an infield fly, and out number 2.
Catcher for the Razorbacks, number 17, Kennedy Miller.
Kennedy Miller will bat. Only sophomore in the lineup for Arkansas. Will golf one to the warning track and left. It's a scoreless inning for Peyton Tanner. Bottom 3 coming up for Tennessee. Just 1 hit for the Lady Vols through 4 innings. Arkansas
pitching staff had kind of struggled the first couple of series, had a 7+ ERA in SEC play, but the way that Robin Herron threw last night was 16 strikeouts, and the way that Burnham is looking today does not look like a freshman with the way that she's pitching.
Samaya Morgan's 3rd inning single, the only hit. And the first pitch of the fifth popped into left. That drops in. Base hit for Gabby Leach, who stretches it into 2. Certainly running with conviction after the well-placed blooper. And Tennessee looks to kickstart a rally with a 2-base hit from Leach.
Get their second hit of the day, one that just has eyes on it and falls down there on the left field line. And Reagan Kramer was playing pretty deep, gave a lot of chance for a lot of room, I should say, for that ball to fall. Great hustle by Leach to get herself into second base. And as you mentioned, finding that conviction, that energy, trying to bring it to Tennessee late in this game.
Gabby Leach, a .345 hitter, .446 on base, placed it well. And Tennessee with a pinch hitter, Emma Clark, takes a strike, batting for Bella Faw. Karen Weekly calls her the consummate utility player, Clark. And the freshman a pinch hitter here, immediately down 0-2.
I mean, Peyton Burnham has just been so difficult to square up. Even that Gabby Leach hit, not hit hard, just a ball that had eyes on it. So with the way that she's changing speeds, going both up and down in the zone.
That's squared to right. Pretty soft line drive for Davison.
A lot of weak contact. She's been able to jam them up a bit, get up and in on their hands after using her changeup to set them up. But her rise ball has been looking good for a couple of strikeouts, but they've not been able to get on time with her because of the way that she varies speeds. Not able to get their barrel to up and in pitches whatsoever. She's lived up and in on their hands in a lot of different ways for both of her strikeouts and then for jammed contact. Makes some nice, easy, neat outs for her defense.
As she has locked down Tennessee, and the few times they've actually put runners on base. Morgan with a bunt pop foul. It's 0-2. Tennessee's now 0 for 8 today and 2 for 21 in the series with runners on base. Only 2 hits with runners on base yet. The Gibson home run yesterday and the RBI double from Nugent. Morgan goes down swinging on 3 pitches. Third strikeout for Burnham.
Burnham just goes right at the 9-hole hitter and throws speed on the outside corner. That one didn't even look like it was a little bit off the plate, but just she has some really mixed up and in between speeds with the way that she's changing speeds today.
Kinsey Fiedler, 17 out of 35, 486 with runners in scoring position. Will try to bring in Tennessee's first run. Good rip, and it's strike 1.
It's been a big shift mentally, I think, for Kinsey Fiedler, playing more free this senior year, making the transfer from Washington to Tennessee.
Is there room? Oh, there was, but McDowell dropped it. Ella McDowell had the third out in and out of her glove.
Everybody clap your hands.
In the air for a long time, maybe moving around a little bit on her. Also, Karen Weekly is right there, so maybe feeling her pretty close to her.
Yeah, Karen wouldn't get out of the way there, was she?
See, Karen Weekly just stays put. You're dealing with the dugout. You're feeling another person there, maybe the umpire behind you too. I mean, it's in the air for a while.
And Karen's not moving into her, so she's not interfering with the play. She's just legally lingering. Somewhere around the coach's box. 1-2 for Fiedler again. Fair territory this time. Kramer will get to it. Leadoff double, no problem for Peyton Burnham. Working around it all. Back to Knoxville, 2 innings to go. Arkansas is 2 innings away from a series win. They lead Tennessee 4-0 at the end of 5. They won 6-3 in 8 innings yesterday. Razorbacks came in just 1-5 in the SEC. Tennessee, it took 2 of 3 in its first SEC series, and yet here are the Lady Vols looking at a very, very rare SEC home series loss. Peyton Tanner, their 3rd pitcher of the game. Aaron Newer gave up 4 runs in 2 2/3. Sage Margetko went an inning in the 3rd. Now the freshman Tanner is pitching for the first time in 22 days. Now the last time Peyton Tanner pitched 22 days ago, she threw a no-hitter. 5-inning no-no against Delaware State, March the 1st. 2-1 to Reagan Johnson here. Actually, it was a strike on the swing, so 1-2 as Johnson fouls it away. Johnson, Kramer, and Wyckoff. Reagan Johnson just her 5th RBI of the year with a single in the 2nd. Reagan Kramer behind her has 3 walks. This Arkansas team, we showed you the numbers off the top. To this point in a season, the 2nd highest scoring team in school history. Great players, great staff as well, and that connection between players and coaches has deepened this year as Johnson takes up an end.
2nd year with DJ Gasso, their hitting coach. Last year was that 1st year, and Courtney Deifel had said that he was really reworking an entire system and has really great energy, just really good at finding details for preparation and just trying to make sure that these hitters are very prepared for what they're going to be seeing. And I think that you saw that, especially yesterday, going up against the SEC pitcher of the year last year, and Carlin Pickens. From the 1st inning on, they looked really confident at the plate. Him and Danielle Gibson-Wharton work well together.
Johnson thrown out by the shortstop, Bella Fall, who's re-entered the game.
And Danielle Gibson, of course, there she is. Left-handed big power hitter at Arkansas. Remember just her sweet left-handed swing. She's still playing professionally with Athletes Unlimited. But they work really well together, Danielle Gibson and DJ Gasso offensively. And Danielle Gibson kind of brings that calming presence. Of course, she just recently got done and she's still playing, so I'm sure the players love chatting, hitting with her and what she's seen. But those two kind of work in tandem with the offense.
We were asking about home runs yesterday to the Tennessee folks, and they remembered 3 years ago when Danielle Gibson hit one that one hopped to the gates of the soccer stadium in right field. Fouled away by Reagan Kramer, 2-2. The staff's changed a little bit the last couple of years, and it took a little time for DJ Gasso's offensive philosophy to get it. Another year with Danielle here. There's a little more consistency. Courtney Deifel appears to now be tracking the sound of the helicopter over the stadium. Reagan Kramer has 3 walks today. Career high would be 4. And there it is. She has 4 of Arkansas's 5 walks.
Next to that, right fielder number 46, Kaylee Wyckoff.
Now 27 walks, 4 strikeouts on the year for Reagan Kramer. We call her Reagan Kramer. They all call her Jimmy, Arkansas, which is one of the stranger nicknames in college softball. She tried out for a team in 2018, the story goes, and the coaches didn't know who she was, and Reagan said all they knew was that I was number 99, and supposedly they used to play men's fast pitch with somebody who was number 99 named Jimmy. So she just became Jimmy. She said some of the younger girls that were in our organization have no idea my name's not actually Jimmy.
All nicknames have a story behind them. They start somewhere.
What's the story behind yours?
Well, they would call me Bullet when I was growing up because of my blazing speed, believe it or not. Leadoff hitter, stealing bases.
Not because of your pitch speed?
No.
Really?
Had nothing to do with that. In fact, I would have been named like Snail or something for my pitch speed.
Fouled away by Brielle. You were Bullet Scarborough?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, Bullet. It was on my helmet and everything.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's great to see the all-around players in softball. You were known for your pitching and hitting, but you're known as Bullet. And here's Bree Ellis, who her nickname may be Gold Glove Bree, Smooth Bree, with the play she made in the field yesterday. Showed that she's more than just a power hitter. Faw fighting the sun here will make the catch, and Ellis is 2 for 4. 2 scoreless for Tanner. Big hitters coming up for Tennessee, trying to get back into this.
SEC Softball is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Fired up Razorback bunch outscored Tennessee 10-3 on the weekend. 6 outs from a series win. Tennessee has not lost an SEC home series in 3 years. And the team they lost it to, you guessed it, the Arkansas Razorbacks, who won here in 2022. And since 2021, have won 15 of their last 17 SEC road series. Courtney Deifel, by the way, making a right fielder substitution after the first pitch of the inning. A little miscommunication, getting the right personnel out there in right. Peyton Burnham pitching against Taylor Pannell, Boo Gibson, and Sophia Nugent, 2, 3, and 4. And it looks like it's Ramsey Walker, who had come into play right field after pinch running for Courtney Day, back out there.
Peyton Burnham has just been so efficient, falling behind 3-0 here, but she's not thrown more than 14 pitches in any inning in this game.
Well, there's a 4-pitch walk to Pannell. And for the 3rd time, actually the 4th time in the last 5 innings, Tennessee has the leadoff runner on. And this is the part of the lineup ideally they like.
Number 24, McKenna Gibson.
Ball 1 to Boo Gibson.
5 balls in a row here. Rio coming up and giving her a little bit of love, but it's always interesting how just one inning can be better or worse. And now 6 balls in a row. Miller is going to go out and talk to her.
Do you notice anything with these 6 pitches?
No, nothing in particular. Maybe just a little lack of focus, or I don't know. She's just been in such command. That's why it stands out like a sore thumb, because of how well she's thrown.
First swing of the inning after 6 straight balls.
just this opposite field power, too, that Boo Gibson has. I mean, she can hit a home run to all parts of the field. Yesterday against Robin Heron, who had 16 strikeouts, Boo Gibson hit this opposite field home run early in the game when it was still daylight before we went to extras.
Well, she's now reached base in 30 in a row dating back to last year. She's got 6 homers in 19 games. Grounded out of play. Tennessee hitless with runners on base today, 0 for 10. 3 walks, those have all come with nobody on base. Gibson chases one way out of the zone, stays alive.
I mean, they haven't even gotten a runner to third base in this game.
Haven't had 2 on at the same time, haven't had anybody at third. A really slow offensive series for Tennessee. Gibson trying to change that. Strikes out swinging instead. Throw back to first is late, but Peyton Burnham picks up punch out number 4.
Just love this changeup that Peyton Burnham has. Able to throw this pitch through the zone. Look at how in front Boo Gibson was, expecting something much more firm. She's well in front of that pitch. Peyton Burnham is somebody that Courtney Deifel in last weekend called her the wild card of their staff. She's a competitor, a spitfire, a gamer. I mean, that's, as a freshman, for your coach to call you those words, and then for you to go and put it in play against a ranked opponent, one of the best offenses in the country in Tennessee, says a lot about who Peyton Burnham is.
2-0 for Nugent. Arkansas was just 12th among SEC teams in ERA coming into the weekend, 301. A lot of walks, a lot of home runs since the start of conference play. 3 walks, but obviously no homers tonight. Only the 1 home run allowed in the series. This will be the 80th pitch for Burnham. This is going to be the most pitches she's thrown in a single inning today. Be her 15th. And it's in hard but foul.
It's one of the better swings right there from Tennessee hitters. Better barrel to a pitch. And of course,
Nugent reaches out, slaps one through the right side. For the first time today, Tennessee has 2 runners on base at the same time.
great piece of hitting by Sophia Nugent. Pulled hard toward the left field, the pitch, or toward left field the pitch before, and then she gets an off-speed offering and just shoots it the other way. That is a good 2-strike approach by, again, the hitter who has seen the ball the best in this lineup. To give Destiny Rodriguez some encouragement, some love, pump up, maybe some words of wisdom. Who knows what that conversation is about, but let's see if that convo and that swing pays off in this inning.
Karen Weekly pinch runs for her Amanda Allen, who scored the tying run yesterday. 2 on for the first time. And here is Destiny Rodriguez with a tying run now on deck. And a little low, ball 1. That was Tennessee's first hit with a runner on base since Sophia Nugent in the 6th inning yesterday. Ripped to third and caught by McDowell. Boy, that is just some rotten luck on a ball that was squared up pretty well.
But more conviction, like Karen Weekly talked about, getting her barrel to this pitch, being it hard to third base. Swing by Destiny Rodriguez, just nothing to show for it.
And the pinch runner Allen scrambled back to avoid the double play. So here's Ella Dodge, her first at-bat. Came into the game for Mueller an inning ago. Dodge with 14 hits, 8 for extra bases. So big power potential here. Redshirt freshman from Bradenton, Florida. Last RBI February 28th. Well, she was a cleanup hitter at times earlier in the year. Had a 2-homer game against Northwestern in February. Looking for her first big hit in about a month. 2 on, 2 out. Dodge chases strike 2.
That is a pitch that Burnham wants you to swing at. She wants you to chase that pitch out of the zone.
And she got her to do it again. Burnham dodges a rally, strikes out a pair, strands 2 lady balls, and takes a shutout to the 7th.
Felt more pressure in that inning than she has all game, but still the freshman stepped up to the challenge. Tennessee's best opportunity to score, and Burnham, the freshman, shut them down ahead to the 7th.
You saw them against Oklahoma last week. And they have looked like a totally different team. And this ball is off to the train tracks from Courtney Day. Clear of the Smoky Mountains backdrop. And there are just not many hitters in the country who can do what Courtney Day can do. Her second home run in as many games, and it is 5-0 Arkansas.
When Courtney Day just swings freely early in the count, it's just a thing of beauty, because it's almost just like she looks and hunts for something early in the count. She sees it and she just lets loose on it.
Breaks a 38-game streak for Tennessee pitching of not allowing multiple home runs. Only the 4th time they've done so in the last 97 games, and that was a thing of beauty.
You asked if a ball or home run ball had ever been hit on top of the train tracks, and I mean, I feel like that one almost did, even though I think the train tracks look a little bit further than we give them credit for. But
they look a lot closer the first time you walk in from here, but my gosh, that is some big-time power. I mean, we saw this for 3 years at Texas. I'm just so happy we're getting to see it from Courtney Day again.
Just unleashing on pitches. Belt high, that is a mistake, and had to have felt so good coming off of her bat. She knew it. Both of her home runs have been no doubters that she's hit in this series.
Talia Rijo after the McDowell flat. You got to give credit to Carly Ratliff, who is the secret hero of the season for Arkansas. Carly Ratliff, who's played in 7 games and is 1 for 5. But she was Courtney Day's roommate at Texas. And Carly Ratliff transferred to Arkansas, and when Courtney Day got in the portal, Carly called Courtney Deifel and said, "Coach D, you've got to get her." And Carly told Courtney Deifel that Courtney Day was one of the best hitters she's seen, and she said the closest, I'd say, is Bree Ellis. What a scouting report that was.
Well, and the thing is, when she had entered the portal after she had played at Texas, Arkansas had already gotten Bree Ellis in the portal, and so the timing wasn't great because they had gotten Bree, and then Courtney Day, I think, went in and just wasn't, I guess, room probably is the right way to put that. Whenever Courtney Day went in, they couldn't grab her then, so then she went to Ole Miss, didn't play, went back into the portal, and were able to grab her in the fall. Actually, she kind of went into the portal at a weird time, but Ratliff going to bat for one of her best friends.
Rijo works a walk, 6th of the game for Arkansas. Courtney Day already a career-high RBIs. Not even by the end of March. Most RBIs by D1 teammates this season. Look at this list.
I like the way that Courtney Deifel had told us, too, that we're her happy ending coming over here to Arkansas and loving this team, and She's loving them. They're loving her. Backing up Bree Ellis's bat. I mean, that 4-5 in the lineup between Ellis and Day, and it's tough.
Tanner in a little bit of trouble here.
And been a lot of timeouts in this game, almost trying to massage these young pitchers, trying to speak confidence into them.
Hey, don't forget Tuesday night here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. It's another edition of SEC Inside, an all-access pass to the Gymnastics Championship from last night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Great behind-the-scenes footage and sound from gymnasts and coaches. Tuesday night here on SEC Network. LSU winning the SEC Championship yesterday, edging out Oklahoma. Gymnastics powers Florida, Missouri also in the mix. Now, Courtney Day, who mentioned she didn't play last year, coach, was teaching in high school. She had a back injury that was lingering for a while. Didn't work out at Ole Miss, the injury concerns. And just felt like her love for the game had gone away a little bit. She didn't know if she'd be playing. We didn't know if we'd see her again in the softball world. And not only has she had a great year, she's fit in, Courtney Deifel said. Absolutely from day one, she has been herself. Healthy, happy, and putting on a great show this weekend here in Knoxville.
Well, and she wasn't cleared and didn't even show up to play with Arkansas until January. So you think about the timing of all of that and what she's added to their lineup, and I mean, there was a chance there. I'm sure they were thinking that she might not have even been able to play with them this year, but it got approved and she has fit in perfectly.
Tennessee's about to make its third pitching change of the game, it appears. Aaron Newer started it, gave up 4 2 2/3. Sage Marjecko with an inning and a third scoreless. Peyton Tanner 2 1/3. And Aaron Newer is going to re-enter the game that she started. We'll come back. 5-0 game in the 7th. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Series finale. Mic'd Up Monday, Karen Weekly. Arkansas and Tennessee. It looks like it's going to be Arkansas going for a sweep unless Tennessee has a great 7th inning rally. Right here on SEC Network. Aaron Newer with the re-entry. 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 runs in her first go-round. 4 runs, 3 earned. And she takes over for Peyton Tanner after a home run, a flyout, and 2 walks. Tennessee has walked 7 batters. Last time they did that 1 year and 1 week ago, March 16th, 2024 against Mizzou. They walked 7 and they still won the game 8-2.
I know we talked about it, I think, at dinner, and we've kind of touched on it throughout the past 2 games, but Arkansas going into the series, I mean, when you looked at the numbers, the hitting numbers between both teams were eerily similar. But the one glaring difference was the pitching, with Tennessee having one of the best pitching staffs by the numbers in the country. But when I will look back at this series and talk about it tomorrow too, I go back to the first inning, their approach off of Carlin Pickens, and immediately making a statement with their confidence in the box against her.
That's 3 straight walks, 8 in the game now. Reagan Johnson will come up. It's funny that you're going back to an inning where Arkansas went down 1-2-3.
Yeah.
But you could already sense a palpable energy in the dugout because they made contact. They made good contact against maybe the pitcher with the best stuff, or in the conversation for the pitcher with the best stuff in the country. And Nigel Kennedy, Jory Ball, there are other great ones up there, but Carlin Pickens was 2nd in the nation in wins above replacement just in the circle pitching war coming into this series. And Arkansas really hardly ever looked overwhelmed by her.
Well, and no swings and misses. And when you're a strikeout pitcher and you go into that first time facing an opponent, you're thinking, I'm going 3 up, 3 down, probably going to get a couple of strikeouts. They haven't seen me. So that instantly, to me, shifted the mindset of Carlin Pickens in that game.
For the left side, Reagan Johnson came into this game with 4 ribbies on the season, and she's knocked in 2 today. It's 6-0.
And when they get her going like this, where she's just not soft slapping or using her bunt, but able to find holes with a little bit more power through the infield like that, you know that she's in a good place, especially with runners in scoring position. Her able to hit it with a little bit more pop off the bat, even on a ground ball like that.
Megan Rhodes-Smith makes her 5th visit to the circle in this game now.
She's getting her steps in this game.
This inning started with a day home run. McDowell flied out, then a walk to Rijo on 3-2, walk to Davison on 3-1, walk to Miller on 3-0, and an RBI single by Reagan Johnson. So 2 across in the inning, 3 on. And Reagan Kramer has a force field around her is the batter. She's 0 for 0 with 4 walks today, which is 1 walk shy of the Arkansas single game record.
And the message there was make her put the ball in play. Bases loaded, you have an out at any base, throw strikes, challenge her over the heart of the plate, make her put the ball in play. Infield's playing back, looking to turn a double play here.
Not like Kramer's a power hitter. 4 doubles and a home run. She just does not swing at anything out of the zone. It's a rare swing for her. It's 2-2. Davison, Carter, and Johnson, the Razorback runners. Kramer, just confident take after confident take. She's worked it full again. It's the 18th full count Arkansas hitters have been in the series. Kramer does not walk for a 5th time. She's finally retired on a tight strike 3.
Gets the bottom of the zone here, Newer does, and Megan Kramer knows her strike zone very well. Did not agree with that one.
Would have tied Devin Wallace's program record from 2013, but she'll have to wait. And now Carly Wyckoff, who has not reached base today. One of only 2 starters not to reach base. Now Wyckoff came in on a 13-game on base streak, tied for the longest on the team with Kramer. Katie takes strike 2. Tennessee's going to have 7, 8, 9 coming up. Lady Vols just 3 hits in the series with runners on base. They will need a monstrous rally, trying to keep it here at 6-0. It's 3-2 for Wyckoff.
Tennessee pitchers have thrown over 170 pitches in this game. You think about the amount that Carlin Pickens threw last night, pushing 160.
Wyckoff down the line and right. That is a fair ball and big trouble. 2 runs in, and Courtney Deifel with a late decision to hold Johnson at 3rd, but now Wyckoff's in a pickle. Johnson's coming home, and she is called out. Courtney Deifel will instantly signal for a challenge, though. It's a 2-run double and an 8-0 Arkansas lead, and we'll see if there's more upon review.
the out called the play. That play is now under review.
So Kaylee Wyckoff's going to carry that on base streak into tomorrow with a double to score at least 2.
Looks to me, it's close, by the way, to see if her hand got in there before the tag, but also it kind of looked like Sophia Nugent's footwork maybe was in front of the leading edge of the bag before she had possession of the ball as well. So potential obstruction could come into play here. You see her entire right foot blocking the leading edge of the bag. So I think, to me, when I see this, and you just never know with obstruction, right? But look at her right foot right there, blocks the leading edge of the bag as Reagan Johnson is going before she has possession of the ball. So to me, could potentially be overturned on obstruction alone. Nevertheless, maybe even her hand getting in there.
What should a catcher do to avoid obstruction in that moment?
Just keep that right foot where, oh, this is a great look. The Hawkeye cameras are
After further review,
amazing.
the call on the field has been changed. The runner is safe. This is Arkansas's first challenge.
I mean, that's the only look that you need right there from the Hawkeye camera, with how much it can zoom in and how clear it is. But as a catcher, you have to keep that left foot not blocking the leading edge. It's in a better position there, but it did kind of move around. But her fingertips get in before the tag. What a slide by Reagan Johnson. What a look that we have these cameras in our sport.
And Bree Ellis gets jammed and pops out. Yeah, everybody's got the Hawkeye technology now in their stadiums. Heightened review capability. It got Arkansas another run. They've got all 9. Well, this is an interesting little wrinkle here. Robin Aaron taking over for Arkansas, up 9-0. If Tennessee hasn't had enough offensive trouble in this series, they try to deal with a pitcher who struck out 16 yesterday. Peyton Burnham, I guess, is done after 6 scoreless.
And I can't wait to ask Courtney Deifel before the game tomorrow when we have a chance to talk to her why she made this move.
Robin Aaron, the presumed Game 3 starter. But you know what happens when you presume. 155 pitches yesterday, 16 strikeouts. And comes in with a 9-0 lead in the 7th.
So I wonder if they'll try to start Cam Harrison tomorrow. I'm just really blown away that Robin Aaron is coming into this game, even if the score was 4-0 like it was before we went to the 7th inning. I'm surprised that she is coming in. I mean, Burnham was throwing well too. Give her a chance to throw that complete game. Maybe Aaron wanted to throw today to loosen up, but she threw so many pitches last night and threw so well.
What a line for Peyton Burnham today. 6 shutout against the back-to-back SEC champions, Tennessee. And Aaron comes in and walks Gabby Leach on 4 pitches. Now here's what these two have done, Aaron and Burnham. They have dominated Tennessee through this series.
They scored the 3 runs, and Arkansas gave up a lot of runs to Ole Miss the first weekend, a lot of runs to Oklahoma the second weekend. They have really looked great in the circle this weekend.
Bella Faw back into the game. Lined out her first time. Faw takes high. One in the second, 3 in the third, 5 in the 7th. And if you're just tuning in, the only reason this isn't a run rule score up 8 is because Arkansas only led by 4 going into the 7th and had that big rally. 7 of their 9 runs have come with 2 outs. So it's not going to be a run rule win, but it's going to be a win by a run rule type of margin for Arkansas, which has already tied a program record. 16 run rule wins this year. And they've got an out on the pop-up from Fobb. Samaya Morgan will stand in. Courtney Deifel watching on, 2 outs away from a series win at Tennessee. Again, the last time Tennessee lost a home SEC series was 3 years ago to Arkansas. The last time Tennessee lost an SEC series of any kind was 2 years ago at Arkansas. So this is just Lady Vol kryptonite. Be 3 consecutive series wins for Arkansas over Tennessee, which has been the best team in the SEC the last couple of years. There's a bunt. And it's a bunt hit. Oh, and then Leach overruns the bag. Oh, boy. In a 9-0 game.
What a heads-up play by Kennedy Miller. You're just kind of taking a chance that this is going to happen. When you make that throw to second base, you are hoping that the runner at second base is sleeping, wanders too far off, and can't get back. And what a pick by Davison to pick that ball out of the ground and put the tag on to get the second out.
Courtney Deifel wasn't kidding before the year when she said this could be her best defensive team. They came in leading the country in fielding percentage, and they have been terrific this week. Fiedler, the last remaining light for Tennessee. He'll take ball 2.
Okay, so what are you thinking? Are you thinking that Kim Harrison gets a start tomorrow, or we're going to go with Heron? Got a lot of time to rest today and all day tomorrow.
I think Robin Heron still. Kim Harrison does have a little bit of a better ERA, though half the innings. I'd be tempted to get greedy and go with Robin Heron, but maybe you start Harrison and bring Heron in relief if necessary.
Yeah, I'm thinking with Heron coming into this game, I think Harrison gets the start in game 3 and Heron ready for relief at any point.
2-2. Got to be Carlin Pickett's for Tennessee, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then the one wrinkle would be Marjeko really didn't throw much today. She came out of the game in a 4-0 game, only got 4 outs, so she'll be pretty fresh, likely for tomorrow. Tennessee on the wrong end of a 9-0 game. You never see this. 3-2, slapped through the left side. There's a base hit for Kinsey Fiedler. I'll say this, if it is Robin Heron, at least Tennessee can feel a little bit better going into tomorrow with these at-bats.
Arkansas pitchers in this game have only thrown 105 pitches compared to Tennessee pitchers 177 pitches.
We got 8 walks for the Arkansas hitters, 4 for the Tennessee hitters. And there's Peyton Burnham, who went 6 scoreless today. And here comes Courtney Deifel. I think this is her first visit of the day, and there were a lot of pitches thrown yesterday, but maybe it's only her first or second of the whole weekend. I really am fascinated to hear from Courtney Deifel tomorrow why she wanted Robin to get an inning here. Courtney Deifel knows what she's doing. She's a really smart coach, so there's a method to the madness here. winningest coach by far in Arkansas history by 70 wins or so. After a season where she was the head coach at Maryland, been an assistant there for a couple of years. This whole thing came as a bit of a surprise. We were talking to her before the game. She said, I certainly didn't expect to only be at Maryland for a year, but it's a great opportunity at Arkansas. Remember, this was a program that was non-existent in the softball world. Her first year, they were 1-23 in the SEC. Fast forward to 2021, they go 19-5, win the league. Shared the title with Florida, win the league again in 22. Next step, be that elusive World Series appearance. 3-1 hit by pitch of Taylor Panel. Or maybe they hit the bat. No, Panel is going to go to first. Fiedler was going back to first, thinking it was a foul ball. She was lingering. The Panel will load the bases.
Well, and now Boo Gibson is coming up, and she hit a home run off of Heron. So bases loaded, and maybe Robin Heron's going to actually come out of this game.
So Robin only gets 2 outs. Back to the bullpen, and it's going to be Peyton Burnham. Well, we'll count this as a complete-ish game. Some mad science from Courtney Deifel. Burnham's going to come back in, and she's going to try to finish off maybe the best day of her college career so far. Considering the opponent, the stage, she was probably best case scenario for Courtney Deifel here.
3 hits, no earned runs, and 3 walks. I mean, just so efficient. She'd only thrown 87 pitches through 6 innings. Just trying to get this last out.
Arkansas didn't add a portal pitcher this year. Robin Heron, Reese Burline, and then they brought in all these freshmen, Cam Harrison, Lexi King, who's thrown 8 games in relief, and Peyton Burnham. They had a lot of belief in their young arms to carry them through a conference season. It's going to be harder than ever.
Well, and to think that Hannah Kaminson, who transferred to Nebraska, another left-handed pitcher like Heron, could have also been on the staff, would have made them even deeper. The Kaminson twins, as they call them, transferred to Nebraska, as well as Casey Hoffman. So 3 big parts of Arkansas's roster last year left the program.
If you rearrange the letters in Arkansas, you get pretty close to the letters in Nebraska. I don't know, maybe that had something to do with it. Familiarity, you know, get the K and the S in there.
Turning a little bit closer back home. That's what Burnham has done today. That rise ball has been working, and she just continued to change speeds. Out over the plate, gotten them to chase that changeup in the dirt. A lot of mishits, strikeouts sprinkled in there.
Gibson, center field, and caught by Rijo. It's a Razorback shutout and a series win in Knoxville. Arkansas wins game 2, 9-0, and the Arkansas Razorbacks, the first team to win an SEC series at Tennessee since they did it 3 years ago, as these Road Warriors charge on with a chance at a series sweep tomorrow night.
Look, winning series in the SEC is difficult, but winning SEC road series is even more